What if the hero of a fire wasn't a firefighter? Or even a person, but a cockroach? Yeah, you heard me right. A roach. And what if the one being saved was a bedbug? Sounds pretty impossible, doesn't it? Well, stick with me, because this story might just change how you see the world's tiniest inhabitants. Deep inside the wall of an old apartment building, where dust bunnies drifted like forgotten clouds and ancient pipes hummed a constant low tune, lived a cockroach named Rex. Rex was the definition of a survivor. He was incredibly fast, wickedly clever, and had perfected the art of minding his own business. On the other side of that same wall lived Betty, a tiny bedbug that, let's just say, wasn't exactly popular. Everyone avoided him. Betty was nervous, quiet, and honestly, always seemed to get the blame for things he didn't even do. Then one night, everything changed. A sudden jolt, followed by a terrifying smell. Smoke, intense heat, sheer panic. A fire had erupted somewhere in the building, and chaos took over the insect world. In seconds, the walls became a blur of frantic movement. Ants marched in disciplined terror, spiders vanished into thin air, and the air filled with the desperate cry, "Every bug for themselves." Rex, being Rex, bolted. He was a master of escape. But then, he stopped. Through the thickening smoke, he heard a sound of faint, desperate coughing. Tiny, scared, and getting weaker, he followed the sound and found its source. It was Benny. He was trapped, pinned under a heavy splinter of wood that had fallen during the chaos. There was no way out for him. Rex froze. This was it, the ultimate test. He could easily run and save himself, leaving behind the one bug nobody seemed to care about. Or he could do the unthinkable. Man, this is bad, Rex muttered to himself, the heat getting closer. He looked at the terrified Benny, then at the escape route. He let out a heavy sigh. All right, no cap, I got you. With a burst of adrenaline, Rex put all of his six-legged strength into the task. He pushed, he pulled, he dragged Benny from under the debris. He used his own body to shield the tiny bedbug from falling ash and embers. The flames roared around them. The heat was suffocating. But Rex refused to quit. Inch by inch, they moved toward safety. They finally burst through a small crack in the wall, tumbling out into the cool night air just as the flashing lights of fire trucks lit up the scene. They were safe. Benny, completely exhausted and in shock, looked up at the cockroach who had just saved his life. "Why?" he whispered. "Why did you save me?" Rex just shrugged, catching his breath. "Fire don't care who you are," he said, "and neither do heroes." It just goes to show you, sometimes the bravest acts of courage come from the most unexpected bugs. So next time you see a tiny creature scurrying by, maybe remember Rex and Benny. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. See you next time.